He's going to heal up his footman and get his mana back, and he's going to do a little creeping of his own, but he's already got a huge advantage. He's at 47 food compared to Bro, who is, let's see, Shriek's at 50, Bro is at 36. So he's got a significant food advantage. He's got, now granted some of that is in peasants, but he's also clapping away on these creeps, so he's not really getting too far behind on the levels. He hits 3. He does get a nice drop here. You're going to see him get a Tome of EXP, which is always nice. But basically, he's keeping up for the most part in levels, which people say you're not going to be able to do that if you don't have the Archmage and the Water Elementals. But he's able to do that. He's playing aggressively. He's probably throwing the undead player off a little bit. And he's also got a significant population advantage. So let's pause again here for just a second in 3, 2, 1, pause. I just wanted to make sure before they get into this next battle that I did touch on a couple of things here. For one, you're going to notice that the human player here, Shriek, is going to turn the tables a little bit on the undead player. Typically, in the human-undead matchup, it's the human player that has to worry about losing his heroes constantly. He's going to get nuked, and he's going to lose his heroes. Now, that is still a concern. In fact, now you've only got one hero, and so that one hero is going to get nuked over and over again, and you do have to be prepared for that. So you have to have some items, you have to be ready to deal with that. You'll notice that he bought Boots of Speed for his Mountain King, which is going to enable him to escape several tight situations over the course of this game. So that is critical. You've got that extra money because you're not getting another hero. Might as well spend it a little bit on items. You've got your expansion up now, unknown expansion, because the undead player has yet to discover it. But basically you're in good shape, and you're going to want to see this. He's going to aggressively go after the undead heroes. The Lich, the Death Knight. He's going to do some pretty aggressive micro here, trying to kill those heroes and keep doing damage to the undead player so that he is really being slowed down in terms of getting that perfect unit mix that he wants to get at tier 3. He's going to slow him down, he's not going to be able to creep as much, etc. So again, watch what happens here in this battle. This is a great battle. Let's start it again in 3, 2, 1, unpause. You'll notice that now he's got 4 riflemen being cranked out of how many barracks? 3 barracks now. If you didn't notice that already, there you have it. That's what happens. His Mountain King does get nuked, and you're going to see a perfectly timed TP here. He knows the Death Coil is coming, and he hits it. Look at that. I mean, the Death Coil was in midair when he hit that TP. You've got to anticipate that kind of stuff. You got to know that that Death Coil is coming, and just get the heck out of Dodge. Don't wait for it to happen. By then it's too late. So that was perfectly timed. He's able to heal up his guys, and he is cranking 3 barracks now. So you've seen this. The strategy is beginning to take shape. You're beginning to understand what he's doing. He is going to try and overwhelm this undead player early on. He's going to buy another healing scroll, which is going to be very critical, as you'll see in just a minute here. And he's already hit regen, a regen scroll, so that all his troops are healing up. And now the undead player has discovered his expansion. But watch this. Bolt and surround right after the Lich. Now watch this. The undead player does something really nice here with Lightning Shield. And those footmen are taking some serious damage. But right here, he's going to pop that regeneration, the healing scroll, keeping his footies alive just long enough to take that Lich down. And again, the Boots of Speed get him out of dodge. He gets out of there very low on hit points, and he's going to go to the shop, and this is great. He buys an invisibility potion. So for 2 minutes now, no one's going to touch that Mountain King, and now basically all he's got to do is put a little bit more pressure on this undead player and make him run away. Real quick, you're going to notice he's using Defend on those footmen. Defend, I think, is sometimes a little bit underrated. And now watch this too. There's so much to touch on here. He's going to buy Dust because he's seen him burrow a couple of Fiends. So he's like, well, I got an invisible Mountain King. He can't do anything else right now. Might as well go buy some items, and watch this. Free Fiend kill right here as he uses the Dust of Appearance. Bye-bye Brood Fiend. Beautiful. His Mountain King is now level 4. Anyway, getting back to the Defend thing there, this is great. If you have unupgraded Fiends, their piercing damage is going to be reduced by 70% against a defended footy. So, you know what? Each fiend is going to do 8.55 damage per attack. That's right, 8.55 damage per attack to a defended footy. That's nothing. I mean, an Acolyte does 9.5 damage per attack. Granted, their cooldown is a little bit longer, so their damage per second isn't quite the same as what a Fiend's would be, but that's pathetic damage. I mean, Fiends are going to stand up. I'm sorry, defended footies are going to stand up to Fiends pretty doggone well, even if you got a bunch of those Fiends. Focusing one footman, that's a pretty good meat shield. And here, you're going to see him use that invulnerability potion to good use. He's taken down 2 Fiends. He's got a buttload of riflemen here, and he took down 2 Fiends and a statue. He almost got that Lich, but of course the Death Coil saved him. Now he runs back in here. He gets a few more items, I believe, or at least he headed in that direction. Yeah, he gets a Clarity Potion there, and he gets a Mana Potion. So, hey, he just keeps restocking his Mountain King to keep him, and this makes up for the lack of the Brilliance Aura. Costs him a little bit of money. Each Clarity Potion is what, 70 gold? Mana Potions are a little bit more, but basically, there goes another Fiend. He lost a footy. I think he ends up losing maybe 2 footies in this exchange, but he's still going to get yet another Fiend here, and I think even one more as the Undead player retreats. I mean, gosh, the Mountain King, guys, the solo Mountain King is going to level up quickly, and his initials backwards, KM, that's Killing Machine, my friends. Killing freaking Machine. Excuse me. Anyway, you can see he was able to just overwhelm. I mean, look at all those freaking riflemen. They're everywhere. He's already upgraded them once. He can build as many as he wants. He's starting to get a Sanctum up, although I don't think he ever builds a single unit out of that Sanctum in this game. And now he's like, you know what? Let's go expand again. I'm going to be able to build just a constant replenishment of these units, and if I need to get some tier 2 units, I can do that now. And I'm going to have another expansion here in just a second, and I'm going to try and end this game. His Mountain King is now level 5. He's getting that experience bonus by being a solo hero. Oh, and by the way, did you notice that he upgraded his keep at his expo so that he could call militia at his expo? You know, you can debate whether or not that's a good move. I kind of like it. It's a little different. Again, a little bit of the element of surprise there. And in this case, it works out pretty nicely because his main and his expo are fairly close together, and he can probably bring his militia back to his main if he really had to. So you'll notice again, he's going to sell that those gauntlets. He's going to get another healing scroll. That's going to help him out quite a bit here in a second. But he has 80 food compared to his opponent, who is at 47. Now, he slaughtered a bunch of fiends a minute ago, and basically, this is what you do. He's upgrading his riflemen. I believe he's already started upgrading them. Yes, he's getting the second damage upgrade for them. He's basically just scouting to see, does my opponent have any expansions up? Because again, while I'm putting up an expansion, I want to keep him occupied. He finds that there's no expansion, and he comes back to fight. And again, you're going to see, you know, the defended footmen, they do a little bit of their thing. He is going to take down with these focus firing riflemen. This Crypt Lord is going to die really quickly in just a minute here. You'll see that. So here goes. They turn and fire. Bam. Crypt Lord's gone. And now it's as easy as bolt, focus fire, the Lich is dead, and yeah, ding dong, the Witch is dead. The undead player has been vanquished. So, again, this is an interesting deal. A very different style of play. You know, you don't have Brilliance Aura. Very true. You don't have the Water Elementals. Very true. But what he did here is he adapted his game, he adapted his build to try and compensate for that. So what does he do? He gets the early barracks. Late altar. Doesn't hurt you too badly. I mean, as you can see, he had his hero out in plenty of time to avoid the Death Knight coming in and doing any damage, you know, before he was able to get his hero out. So that's really not an issue. Did it slow him down in creeping? Maybe a little bit, but you know what? That Death Knight harass is going to slow down the Archmage too. And because the Death Knight couldn't harass, he was able to do some things that maybe he wouldn't have been able to do with an Archmage. and he immediately gets the expansion so that he can throw up 3 barracks and crank out a ton of Tier 1 and 1.5 units, which basically allows him to just run over the undead player before he can get his mass destros or massive bombs or whatever he wants to do at Tier 3. And really, if you're able to take your opponent by surprise, I don't know that there's a ton that the undead player could have done. Now granted, if the undead player went into the game knowing that that's what the human player was going to do, sure, he could counter that in any number of different ways. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to take people by surprise merely by picking the Mountain King first. If you also, on top of that, are able to adapt your style, for example, the use of items in this game. You know, he got that Arcane Vault built right up next to his expansion, and man, he hit that thing over and over again. He also used items from the Goblin Merchant to great effect. An invulnerability potion, healing scrolls, an invisibility potion, dust of appearance, all these different things he did a great job with. And you know what? In the end, you add all that stuff up together, and it spells W-I-N, my friends. W-I-N, and that's always a good thing. So anyway, for you human players out there that are frustrated with losing to that Tier 3 craziness that the undead players typically throw at you, you know, give this a try. See if it doesn't take a few people by surprise and maybe get you some wins on ladder. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed this. Hey, give me some feedback in the forums if you did. And if you have anything constructive to say about what I can do better, man, I'd love that too. That'd be awesome. Hey, you guys are great. Thanks for listening, and I'll be seeing you around. Peace.